Things are getting a little bit too real. This is not a fake number here. I just want to refresh and let everyone know that this is some real shit. I've made 16.8 thousand in the last 3 weeks exactly. We can see here the 16th through the 6th is exactly 21 days. So it's been $16,900 in 3 weeks, and quite honestly, it feels pretty good to finally kind of get the results that I've been dreaming of for a very long time, and knowing that this is just the beginning. Now, I want to show you guys that, if you see the chart, you can see that it is progressively getting more and more and more money every single day. We started off with one sale the first day, about 3-4 sales the next day, and then it just kind of, there's some dips every now and then, but it on average is going up and up and up, and I am very successfully slowly scaling. I don't want to scale too quick yet because I do have a new ad account, and there are a lot of issues with new ad accounts because Facebook tends to kind of prioritize the people that have already had that experience and that time with volume and spending quite a bit of money. So with new ads, they're kind of suspicious of how much you're spending. So I am trying to be wary of that fact. But today, we're at $730. I actually just got a sale the minute before I started this video. So here is the proof right here. I'll see if I can show y'all. I got a sale just a couple minutes ago. So it was at $680, but now it's at $730. And it is only 1:30 today, so I guess I have the rest of the day to kind of match yesterday, which was the highest day so far in my brand. $1,700 yesterday, which is, to be honest, it's fucking outstanding to see that, and I can't wait to see that one, and I can't wait to see that one turn into a 2 and eventually a 3 and a 4. So I am successfully scaling. It's been about 3 weeks of running ads. It's been 3 weeks and it's almost been $17,000. And I think most of that revenue, if you guys see here, was generated in the last week. So in the last week, it's been $10,500, which is about 2/3 of the entire revenue, which is insane to say because if it's 10,000 a week, if I continue to kind of stay at this pace and everything is correct and things are working and things are being shipped out right and my supplier is working with me and everything is kind of how it is right now, and I don't move forward or better or do anything more, then I'm gonna make $40,000 in a month. But if I continue scaling and testing and doing other things, I genuinely believe that this could be a $100,000 a month brand, which is insane because a month ago I was making $0 a month off of any sort of e-commerce. So it's kind of incredible how fast life can change for you in just a short couple of weeks, right? Literally a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I was manifesting all of this shit by becoming the person I wanted to be and acting as that person who was making $10,000 a month. And now, I kind of manifested a little bit too hard, and now I'm making $10,000 in 1 week, which is insane. And to be honest, it doesn't feel that insane to me because it almost feels very natural. It's like, yeah, of course I'm making $10,000 a week. That's just naturally the progression it's going to take if you're scaling that brand. But when you show other people, and I've tried not to show too many people. Because obviously, I want to keep things low key, and again, you guys are kind of in on the joke here, or in on the club of my life, because I haven't shown this channel to really anybody. Again, some of you guys have found my Instagram, which we can chat up on there, and that's very interesting that you guys found it. Or I gave some of you guys my Instagram so you guys can chat up with me. But I do have quite a bit of following on there, just doing cinematic videography content, and it's completely different to what I'm doing here. So you guys are kind of part of the club here of my life, which is very interesting to say the least. So you guys can see, the difference in my content on Instagram, and then see all the shit that I'm doing on YouTube, and that there's a very, very big difference. I don't really plan on really speaking about this to the people on my Instagram for kind of a long time. I kind of want to show the major results before I, start talking about how I made it or whatever, right? Because, I still have my job. I still go out and shoot and do content because that's what I like doing. I think there's no excuse for anybody if they want to start, because guys, I put myself in a position where I was working doubles every single fucking day, trying to pay the bills, and I was extremely busy, and I still found the time to do this, right? A lot of people say that you need a lot of time to get into dropshipping, but I genuinely don't think that's true. I was able to do this while having a full-time job, and only having 2 days, literally only 2 days free every single week, and the other days was completely just for work and the gym, and literally just taking care of myself here alone in the apartment. So I genuinely don't think there's any excuse. I used to live in California with my parents, and I moved out to kind of put myself in the hole that I was in, to kind of see how it was like to genuinely be desperate, to yearn for something more. And it worked, and I wasn't depressed, but I was very, very yearning for something a lot greater. And I think that made me really lock in, because I put myself here, and now that I put myself here, it was like, okay, I'm here, I have to get out of the trenches, right? Which, it's not actually the trenches, but it is, something, jobs and work and all that kind of shit, especially my last job. It's not really something that you want to be doing every day, and it's kind of just a dead end, right? You work and work and work, and there's nothing really progressing you towards anything else. But if you kind of really lock in and obsess over this kind of shit, put in some work, lose some sleep. I definitely lost some sleep working on this this business and these numbers, doing research and building my store, and staying up and making sure the ads are running right, and doing all that kind of shit. I definitely lost some sleep. So I think a little bit of sleep loss will be completely worth it if you're very young and you want to achieve these kind of numbers. Again, guys, I'm not trying to flex on anybody, but this is kind of insane, crazy shit. And especially if you guys have seen my videos a month ago, or a month and a half ago, you guys can clearly see the progression in my content, and see the progression in how and you guys can clearly see the progression of my journey. I mean, I literally showed everything from zero, and I'm making $10,000 a week, which is fucking crazy to me. I don't think really that many people have seen. I don't think many people have shown really the 0 to 100 in dropshipping, besides maybe a couple organic dropshippers that I follow, like Mikey again, and kind of shit like that. But I don't think anyone has ever really shown the progression of doing branded dropshipping and doing it from zero, taking it from 0 to 100. I mean, complete fucking beginner. I knew nothing about ads when I first started doing this, and a month and a half in, I'm making $10,000 a week. It's fucking ridiculous. It's insane, and it genuinely makes you kind of look at the world in a very different lens, and you really kind of take into consideration how ads really work, and how people really genuinely, they get hooked, and the ad works, and it worked on them. There's these crazy offers and bundles that you don't even think about, that are just literally just taking up your money without you knowing about it, and it hooks you in, and you fucking buy things that you don't need to. But even going out to Target or any grocery store, you kind of look at everything very differently now, understanding how much money there really is in the world. And I have an abundance mindset where I believe there's enough for everybody to go around, and the fact that 143 people here, you can see the 143 orders, they willingly gave me that money. You know what I mean? That they thought that I had something of value, which generated $10,000 from that. and it is a valuable product, for these people and this certain niche of people, which is very interesting. That I actually never thought that I would be in this niche ever, and it's very interesting. It's all very interesting. Kind of, introspectively thinking back on everything and who I used to be and what I wanted to do, and just thinking about today and the fact that I'm showing you guys this on this side of the screen. If it's absolutely 100% possible for anybody to do this shit. All it takes is a little bit of work ethic and a little bit of knowledge in the system, and knowing your ins and outs and finding connections and understanding the systems and working with suppliers and past business relationships and kind of shit like that. I'm very lucky to say that I had joined a community for Etsy dropshipping about a year and a half ago, and from this Etsy community I was able to reconnect with my supplier and fulfill these orders that way instead of manually doing it on AliExpress or doing Zendrop or anything like that. I do have a private supplier, and if you guys do want access to that guy, shoot me a DM. I can get you guys hooked up and all that kind of shit. And it's genuinely insane how this is kind of playing. Again, you guys are really in on the club here. And I really think that there's going to be a lot of big things coming soon, and I hope you guys are in on the journey with me. I just wanted to show kind of an inspirational part of my content here. Seeing the 5 digits here is fucking genuinely very inspirational, and I hope it inspires you guys too to start. Again, if you guys are not inspired, please go back, watch my other videos. I genuinely started from fucking scratch. And if I'm not proof that it's working, then I don't know what to tell you. You gotta lock in. That's it.